Hello. You always see a lot of weird nonsense all over the world, especially when it comes to martial arts. It does give insight into our human condition though. Isn't it intriguing as to how choreographed demonstrations have a knack for fooling so many people? How is this possible? How are so many people consistently fooled by these choreographed demonstrations? Of course, the confidence of the so-called teacher is very important to the overall trick, but also, one thing we often overlook is the social proof element of the martial art, the social proof element of the overall demonstration. Us humans can get fellow humans to do some pretty nonsensical things by just pulling them into a herd mentality. It doesn't even have to make sense. It doesn't even have to have a reason. If other people do it, we are more likely to do it ourselves. Through the choreographed demonstration, the participant pretending it's real, and of course with members of an audience, often students, egging on with positive affirmation, fueling the vibe that all of this is real. It can have people who would have questioned the entire experience by pulling them into that energy. Mob mentality, where one person is sane. In a mob, foolishness becomes the norm.
Only one of the people in the group is a real subject.
One. They must be right. There are four of them and one of me.
One.
He genuinely believes that the group is correct.
Camera experiment to see if this woman would stand up at the sound of this tone. We kept the cameras rolling as more unsuspecting patients arrived. Began as a random rule for this woman, has now become the social norm for everyone in this waiting room.
Emily's acting like it's the most normal. Oh, Nadia's turned. Nadia, okay, her bag is slipping off her shoulder. Fourth floor, Mike gets off. Lauren gets on. Lauren also works for us. Nadia has turned all the way around. She's looking at the back of the elevator. That is not normal human behavior. Nadia is looking at the back of the elevator purely because everybody else is.
From there, they can start clapping, and similarly to gas lighting, they can start doubting their own internal compass, which in turn has them join the energy. It's social instinct. Do what everyone else is doing. Conform. Don't question, just conform. Because instinctively, in a much more primitive time, what would happen if you did not conform, thus assimilate with the tribe? You could very well lose your life. It made much more sense to just do what everyone else was doing because there were far greater repercussions for not doing so in a previous time. To today's time, you just get chastised. In a previous time, you lose your life. Thus, the ones who adapted, they lived, and the ones who lived had their genes propagate. The compulsive need to conform is instinctive to many of us, and there was some practical utility to it, for sure. Absolutely, some traditions were very necessary for the fruition of our species long term. They helped us survive. Unfortunately though, this same instinct used to create group cohesion, it can be abused by a deluded narcissist who does not even possess any practical reference frames, thus pulling the wool over our eyes by abusing our instinctive proclivity to conform, leveraging both confidence and social proof to that end. We are gas lit from our better senses. We stop reflecting on the matter. We just do. If they do it, why shouldn't I? Nonetheless though, thanks to the UFC, in civilized society, it is as real as it gets. Thus, this has strengthened our own reference frames as to what does work and what does not work in the real world. Now, other parts of the world, it's only a matter of time until they catch on to this. After all, the truth is power, knowledge is power, and those who leverage power rise to the top. This man here in India, he's an example of this. Just watch him school the people he's fighting. They have no idea he's developed knowledge and understanding, not just in his mind, but reinforced it into his body. Look, That's just how the truth works. You give someone truth, you give them a knowledge advantage, understanding. The only key they need to unlock it is hard work. And the moment they do, they'll make everyone they deal with look easy. That is definitely an integral component as to why the Gracies were so dominant. With Jiu-Jitsu, they just had a massive knowledge advantage, and through that knowledge advantage, they schooled much of an era.
This guy makes fights easy. He's great. That's what greatness is. Make things that hard, make it real easy. He makes it look too easy.
Knowledge and understanding refined through hard work versus anyone who has no idea. They always end up making it look easy. That is just it. That's what Sean O'Malley did versus one of his fans. He could virtually touch him at will. Time will always tell the truth, for truth is our ultimate power. Thus, it's only a matter of time until someone who's strong enough to wield it does. Thus, from there, rises to the top. This is an understanding I believe is valuable to our time. The path that leads to truth is littered with the bodies of the ignorant. Miyamoto Musashi. This young man schooling his opponents who virtually have no idea in comparison. That is exactly what Miyamoto Musashi meant. When you understand, you will crush all those who do not understand. Frank Yeager had said versus Yair Rodriguez that there are levels to this. It was a testament to the mauling that ensued, a testament to the understanding Yair refused to acknowledge. He just got schooled by a much smaller man. That is just it. Knowledge is power. Hard work is the key. In a world where conformity is the norm. With this segment, all I implore for you is to question whether or not the ideologies presented are the best for you. That's just it. I just want to give you more content and agency over your own life. And when you understand, you realize that starts within.